Hi again and welcome back. In this video we need to learn more about the UV editor. Let's split this window to two. Let's go to the top right corner here and click and hold and split this window to two like this and switch this to UV editor. And now we are inside the UV editor. We have here in the scene we have this cube. Let's add more geometry. First let's move this cube right here for now. Hit Shift A and let's add maybe a cylinder, and let's move it right here. Shift A and let's add cone, and Shift A and let's add monkey head. Let's put those right here, and let's start with the cube. Each mesh you add here inside the scene, it has its own UV. If you go to the object data properties here, and if you open the UV map drop down list here, you will see that we have a UV map for each object or each mesh you add here. And now if I tap to the edit mode, if I didn't tap to the edit mode, I will not see anything here on this side. So you need to tap to the edit mode so you can see the UV of each mesh you pick. First, let's activate the screencast. And now let's grab the cube and let's tap the edit mode to see the UV. And as you see now we have the UV. Because the cube is selected, I mean all the faces, we can see the UV here and we can control it, we can move it. But if we didn't select anything here, if we tap to the edit mode without selecting anything, we can't see the UV right here. The vertices on this side here, we call them vertices. But on this side, in the UV editor, we don't call these vertices as vertices, we call them UVs. Alright, the UV should lay here inside this square. If we want to export it to another program like Photoshop or Substance Painter, we need to put the UV like this. It's wrong to leave it like this or like this. You'll not get correct results. So the UV should be inside this square. We can scale it just a little bit like this. It should be like this. Alright. Here we have the header, we have some option, and before I talk about the header, I need to talk about the difference here between this side and this side. In this side here we have 3 dimension, X and Y and Z, but here inside the UV editor we just have 2 dimension, X and Y. So if you want to move this to the UV to the X, you need to hit G, X to the horizontal, and Y will be the vertical. Just hit G, Y to move it to the vertical direction. The vertical direction inside the UV, inside UV editor, we call it V. In the horizontal direction we call it U. Because of that we call them UV. But if you want to move them, you need to use the X and Y. Okay, now here we have the ability to select vertices, and here we have the ability to select edges. This tool is for edges. Now I can pick the edges. And this tool for face, I can pick face. And this tool here, this button here, for selecting island. For example, if I go here to this cube and just pick one face, the selected face, I will see it right here. I will grab it and hit E, and I just gonna slide it right here. And now I will hit A to select all the UV. And if I activate now this tool, now with one click I can select all connected vertices or UVs. So because of these vertices are connected to each other, with one click I can select them. This one as well. So this is the usage of this tool. This is how to use it. I will hit Ctrl Z to bring this back. Alright, now I will select the whole cube so I can see it here. And now with one click I can select everything. Here we have this button is one of the important buttons here. It's called sync. We learned that we need to select the cube, all the faces, so we can see the UVs here. But I can activate this tool. It's called UV sync. If I activate this one, even if you didn't select anything, you can see the UV right here. And the option here they will be changed. You will have the vertex and edge and face, and the island selection will disappear. So you have two options. Either you use this or you can use the sync tool activated. And now I can work right here and I can see which face I selected here. If I select this face, I will know that this face is right here inside the 3D scene. But if I turn this off and if I select each face here, let's go to the face selection, I can't recognize it here inside the 3D viewport. So this is the difference. Sometimes I use the sync selection, and sometimes I don't. I stick with this mode. All right. Here we have this sharing selection. If you hover over here and leave the mouse, you will see the name of this tool. It's called shared location. If I go to the vertex, for example, if I grab those vertices, as you see, I just grab those vertices right here. But if I switch this to shared location, and if I grab those again, this shared vertex, sorry, you will see that the vertices, these vertices are connected to this one and this one and those as well here. And because of that, all of these vertices highlighted because they are connected here in the cube. So this is the usage of this tool. For me, I didn't find myself using this tool too much, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I will switch this back to disabled. And here we have some option here. For example, the UV is one of the most menus here. We need to use it. Inside the UV, we have multiple options here. We will use them later. We will learn about them. And here we have the pivots. We have the bounding box, median point, 2D cursor, and individual origin. Inside the UV editor 3D cursor, we call it 2D cursor because here we just have X and Y, we don't have XYZ. And let's take a quick example to understand this 2D cursor. By the way, you can move it the same way right here. If you hold shift and hit right click in any place, it will follow. And if you hold shift and hold right click, it will follow your mouse. And let's take a quick example. What I will do is I will use the snap tool here. By the way, we have a snapping system here. I will switch this to vertex and I will put the 2D cursor right here at this vertex. Hold shift and right click, hold control and snap it here. And I will hit A to select all the vertices or the UVs as we learned. And I will rotate them according to the 2D cursor. So I will switch this to 2D cursor and I will hit R to rotate, and as you see now I can rotate it according to the 2D cursor. Here we have proportional editing. We have the same modes here, and from here I can add an image. And yeah, let's say that's it. Here we have the show overlay if you want to hide or unhide the UV here. And we have some options here. We're not gonna worry too much about this option for now. All right, now let's tap out from the cube and let's select the cylinder and let's see how this UV laid out. I will tap to the cylinder and check the result. These faces for the side of the cylinder, and this one for the cups, this one and this one for the top and for the bottom. Okay, let's go to the cone and let's see the UV. This is the UV of the cone. This one is for the cup, and these faces for the whole cone here. And for the monkey head, let's grab it and let's tap the edit mode. All right, these are this is the face, and these the eyes, and those here are the ears, and these are I think the eyes. Yeah, I can make sure of that. I can deselect anything here and here and activate sync. And for example, if I grab those, I just need to know where are these circle inside the 3D viewport. So if I grab them like this, I will understand and learn because they will be highlighted here inside the 3D scene. And if I grab those here, I just need to understand what are these. As you see, I just realized that these pieces are the ears here. And this one is the whole face. If I grab it like this, like what you see. And this is the way if you want to locate the faces, where are they here inside 3D view here. Okay, now let's take a quick example. I just need to make quick unwrapping. I have the cube here and we have the UV right here, but I need to delete the UV. What I will do is I will go here to object data properties and I will delete the UV for the cube. Just hit this minus and it will be deleted. Now if I tap to the edit mode, I will notice that I didn't have any UV right here. And because I didn't have any UV, you can't see the options right here because we didn't unwrap it. We learned if we grab an object and if we tap to the edit mode, we can see some options here. That's right. But that's because we have a UV. We have something unwrapped here. But if we don't have a UV, we can't see any options here. Just keep that in your mind. Okay, now we need to unwrap this cube. And we need to bring the scissor and we need to cut some area to open this cube because I need to create a dice. So let's see how can we achieve that. What I will do is let's go to the edges and let's pick some edges. For example, I will grab this edge and this edge and this edge and I will cut them by using the scissor. So I will go to UV and hit mark seam. So they will be cutted when I mark them as a seam. And now they turn to green. That's mean now they are become this face become open. All right. Now let's grab this edge and this one and let's cut them. Mark them as a seam. Okay. Now what else? This one and this one as well. I think we can do this, or maybe this one and this one. Grab them like this and mark them as a seam. So go to UV and mark them as a seam like this. Alright, what else? I think that's it. After that, just hit A, select all the faces, and go to UV and hit unwrap to unwrap it. And there we go. Now we have the cube unwrapped and ready, and now we have a UV map here and all the options they came back. Alright, now how can I create a dice? How can I do that? Alright, the first thing we need to unwrap it, and we did that. We unwrapped it, we add the seams and the necessary places, and we unwrapped it, and everything now is ready. Let's activate sync for now. Okay, now what else? What we can do here? Now we need to add a material to this cube so we can see the material first. I will split this window to 2, so I will split it like this, and I will switch this to shader editor to create our shader. Hit N to turn this panel right here, we don't need it, and let's hit new from here to create a new material, or you can go here to the material section and you can hit new from here to create a new material. And now we have the material and we have the name of this material. You can call it A, for example. You can call it any name, or let's call it dice material. And now we have the material ready. After that, we need to add image texture here to texture this cube. So let's open the folder and I will grab this dice image and I will drag it and put it right here inside the UV editor. As you see, when I select it, I got it right here. And if that doesn't happen, you just need to open this arrow and search for the image, and you should find it right here. If you have too many images, you can use the search field here to search the image that you want. Anyway, now I need to connect this image right here. I need to connect it to this material because I need to see the result of this material on the cube. What I will do is I just gonna connect the color to the base color, and that's it. But I didn't see anything. To do that, I will hit Z and go to material preview, and now I can see the results of the image on the cube. But we got some black area here because the image texture is not aligned with the UV perfectly. So I will tap to the edit mode and notice the area right here catches the black area, and because of that I can see some black area here and maybe in another places, and yeah, that's right here and here as well. Why? Because I have the UV on the black area. If you notice, this edge is on the black, taking the information from the black area, and let's maximize it. And sorry, and the UV right here as well, taking information from the black area. So what we need to do is we need to move the UV just a little bit to this direction to align it. Let's do that. I will make this a bit big so I can see the whole UV, and I will hit A to select all the vertices here. And what I will do is I just gonna move it just a little bit, hit G and move it and align one corner. We align this corner and everything now is ready. We can move it just a little bit, just zoom in and move it. Alright, that's cool. And we still have some problem here. To fix this problem, we can, for example, we can use the 2D cursor. We can use the 2D cursor. Let's read this to 2D cursor first, and let's snap the 2D cursor to this vertex. Alright, because we need to use it as a pivot. So hold shift, hold control and snap it here, and there we go. Now I can snap according to the 2D cursor. So let's snap it and correct the result, and there we go. Now the UV aligned with the image perfectly, and here inside the viewport I can see that the image is correct. And you can do something else if you want. For example, you can grab the vertices, those vertices, and move those vertices. Let's go to the edges and let's see. Yeah, by the way, if you activate the sync selection and if you picked the vertices, you will notice that each vertex that you will pick, the other vertices, the shared vertices, will be selected as well. So in this case, what I will do is I will go back to the original mode, all right, and I will hit A, and now I just need to grab these vertices alone and move them. This is another way, by the way. And I will hit G. I just need to TQ something and check what's going on here inside 3D viewport when I move this. So I will align this edge here, and I will align these edges or these UVs right here, and now we rectified the result here. And these vertices, I will grab them and move them down, hit G. Let's maximize this, or let's go here because I just need to see the change. Hit G and move those down right here. There we go. And maybe those, no, they are perfect. This vertices, I just need to push them just a little bit here, and there we're gonna correct. And what else? We have this side, we need to correct it, grab them, hit key and move it. Cool. And this one as well. Hit key and move it. And that's awesome. I did this because I just need to show you that you have multiple ways to correct your UV. But the cube is something simple. But for something like the monkey head, it's difficult to control it, like what I did to the like what I did to the cube, because we have too many vertices and the vertices are not aligned. So you can't use this method for all the object. This is what I want to mention here. Let's go back here to the cube because I just need to manipulate the vertices and I need to see what's gonna happen here. For example, for this side, the two dots here, I will grab one vertex and I will move it. Check what's happening here. When I manipulate the vertex, you notice that I'm not deforming the 3D mesh here, but I deforming the texture of the 3D mesh. I needed to realize this. If these vertices are not in the correct position, you will see something like this, and we call it distortion here. That's not correct. The UV is not correct. If you see something like this or something like that, if you see that the image is not applied correctly on your geometry, that means your UV is not correct. You need to correct it. So to correct this, move the vertices and put them in the right position, or you can hit A, select everything and go back and hit unwrap to unwrap this again and go back and align it with the design again to sorry with the image like this, and that's it. Alright, so I think now we learned a little bit about UV, and I'm not going to stop here. We will take more examples to make the unwrapping world easier and easier because it's something important to learn. I will end this video and see you next.